Hey everybody, it's Marissa from Marissa's Manic Life, and I'm here to talk about mental health, mental illness, and my experience with living with bipolar 2. So, one of the things I want to talk about today is related to doing a med change. So, for me, I try to do everything before I choose to change my meds, especially if it's I get seasonal depression, so I make sure that I have, if I take extra vitamin D, or make sure I get outside more, or do stuff like that, or making sure I'm exercising, eating healthy, putting stuff in my life that will change it naturally, which includes changing my vitamins, changing my behavior. So it's for me, prior to doing a med change, I try to do all those things. Now, just because those things work, or just because you have to do a med change, doesn't mean you failed. That is one of the biggest things that sometimes I feel like, is that somehow I messed up the dosages. Somehow that, it was perfect and something I did made it not work. And that is not the case. The case is that our bodies constantly change. Our chemicals change, our hormones change, our testosterone, all of that changes as we progress through life. So what I have found is a lot of people at a younger age have a lot more hyperness and mania, and their energy levels are extreme. And then as people get older, as we age, that energy level and that chemical that pushes it up to the, hypomanic and manic stage is declining. Whereas, then we slowly start to progress into more of a depressive state. And this can be, decades over our whole life. So last year, at the end of last year, I finally had done all the things to try to change my, my attitude and situation naturally, and I ultimately had to do a med change. And so I went to my doctor straight away. We discussed it. We discussed my next steps. How do I do that safely? And I can't emphasize that you need to communicate with your doctor. Sometimes it's easy to be like, this isn't working for me, and just throw it out the window. That's naturally what our reaction is when things aren't working out, is just, obviously this isn't working, I need to do something different. And so some people just quit their medication because they think that the medication is causing this. And in reality, the medication is just not working the way it needs to be working. So it's kind of hard to, you constantly have to change. Just because, clothes, fit you when you were 3 doesn't mean they're going to fit you when you're 7, and it's the same thing. As your body changes, you're going to have to adjust to those chemical changes by doing other chemical changes with your medication. So, one of the things for me is I got off of 2 medications, and then I got on 1 medication. And so I got off of Latuda and Seroquel, and then I got on Zoloft. Zoloft worked for me, but it was, as in, I didn't have bad reaction to it or anything like that, but I don't think it works for me in my time right now. And so ultimately I ended up getting off of that, and we went back to Clonidine, which is technically an ADHD medication, but it really helps me with my mania and, dealing with calmness. And so those are the changes that I made over this med change. And it was scary. I mean, it's always scary getting on and off of medication. You don't know what your reaction is going to be to get off of it. I know people who have never been able to get off of medication because if they do, they're going to have tics. And for me, I was really scared to get off of Seroquel because I've been on it for, 12 years now. And it was scary to think about getting off of it because I was like, I don't know how my body's going to react to not having something that it's had every day for 12 years. And then also trying a new medication. I started Zoloft, and the last time I really started a psychotic medication by myself, I woke up on the bathroom floor and didn't know how I got there, and it scared me. And so I was very scared to start the new medication. But I knew that the during Corona, obviously, I couldn't stay with anybody. And that the benefit outweighed the fear. And I had to really pray with God to try and lean on Him when I had so much fear in my heart about it. So, those are the things that I really had to think about during my med change, but I am getting to the point where I'm feeling really good. Sometimes a med change can take me a month because it's just tweaking the dosages a little bit. I know people who have not been stable. It took, back then it took them 2 years to become stable because they had to try a medication, and then they had to ramp up the dosage, and then they had to ramp down because it wasn't working. Then they had to ramp up another one. And so it's just this whole ebb and flow. And so, just because you're not stable after starting a med change within a certain period of time, don't have judgment on yourself, because it's as it sounds horrible, it's a game of chance. We all try our best to take the medications that we need to and to figure out, and the doctors are doing their best. And if you don't think your doctor is the smartest person, or they're not the right person for you, go get a new one. Like, I mean, I don't want you to not go to a doctor, but like, you need to be happy with your doctor. And so, yeah. So you need to be doing those things, and don't have judgment over yourself on this, because it is a process and it can take as long as it takes. So if you need prayer because you're struggling through a med change right now, or any type of issues with your mental health, please reach out to me, my handle, and I would love to pray for you and to just talk with you about what's going on, and know that you're not alone. And I just want to wish you guys all the best in your journey, and I will talk to you later. Bye.